The Men of Vision, Pursuing the Dream, continues on the Next Level Living show with Coach Terrance. I appreciate you guys for spending the time with us. I appreciate you for staying a little bit over as we anticipated, just going for 3 hours, but some technical difficulties have caused some problems, but that's okay because this message is important. You know, Dr. King, in his pursuit of living his dream and creating the dream that we all celebrate today, he had many obstacles that he had to overcome, but he didn't give up. And because he didn't give up, he showed us the template of what it means to not give up. And he gave us the roadmap to make it okay to not give up. And as a result of that, I'm not going to give up. And as you can see, the other three brothers today, they didn't give up either, because this information, this content is of value to you. We had some other brothers that, due to restrictions of their time and other things, were not able to participate, but this isn't over. We plan on doing other Men of Vision broadcasts throughout the course of this year and beyond. But we ain't over by any means, because I want to talk to you now. I am Terrance, the Unstoppable Coach Leftridge with Unstoppable Coaching Services. And I am a certified life coach, a motivational speaker, and as you can see, the host of the Next Level Living show. But all that just occurred within a relative short period of time. Before then, I was a man who was not one who had a high self-esteem about himself. I was a person, I didn't have any major tragedies or mishaps in my life that would make the best-selling novel right now, or would pique your interest, in terms of this tragedy that I had to overcome. I was just a black man living in America, living on the south side of Chicago in one of the roughest neighborhoods in the city of Chicago, but I wasn't touched by the violence. I never met my father, but I wasn't lacking in male mentorship. My mom was my mom, my dad, my friend, my disciplinarian, all of those wrapped into one. But she also was a person who made sure that there were other male role models within my circle of influence growing up all the way to where I am right now. And it's because of those seeds that was planted in my life long ago that I sit before you now as Mr. Unstoppable. Because that seed was planted in me long ago, that in order to be successful, you have to be unstoppable. So for the next couple of minutes, if you would implore me, if you take a little bit more of your time, I want to talk to you about 4 things you must be able to be in order to be unstoppable. 4 things that you must be able to be unstoppable. I just wrote a book, and the book is called You Are Unstoppable: The 11 Key Attributes of Being Unstoppable in Anything That You Want to Do. And I definitely want you to pick that up and learn about the 11 different attributes, but we're only going to talk about 4 today. And in honor of Dr. King and his dream, it's just apropos that I finished the book just in time for this broadcast. Now, this book took 3 long years to write. Not because it's got 1,100 pages of content, not because I had to send it halfway around the world to get distributed. The 3 years dealt with me. It dealt with procrastination. It dealt with, I'll just say it, lack of confidence in that someone needed to or even wanted to hear what I had to say. It dealt with me not really wanting to put in the time to write. I'm more of a speaker. I'm more of off the cuff. I'm more of it's in my head, and then I'm just going to let it out and present it to you than putting pen to paper or keystrokes on a computer. So for many different reasons, it didn't happen. There was fear, of course, in there. There was distractions, of course, in there. There were those crabs in the barrels that was talking in my ear, the left ear and the right ear, that were saying that, nah, man, come on, go to the party. Come on, do this. You don't need to do that. You're fine just where you are. There was that comfort zone of the 9 to 5 job with that paycheck on the 15th and the end of the month that said, you need to focus on this and let that pipe dream go. You ain't going to be no author. You ain't going to be no motivational speaker. You're not going to have your own radio show and then have your own internet broadcast. No, just go ahead and come to work, sit at your desk, do what you need to do to make my dream, Mr. Boss's dream, a reality. And then I'll give you your severance package. I'll give you a little paycheck so that you can continue to be coming to this job, just over broke opportunity each and every day. And it worked for a while. But there was always something in the back of my head that was saying, this isn't all for you. There was something in the back of my head that was saying, Terrance, if truth be told, you're not being real with yourself. You're not being authentic with yourself. So that's the first thing I want to share with you, that you must be in order to be unstoppable, especially in 2015. You must be authentic. You must be real with who you are and what you were put on this earth for. Now, why do I say you need to be authentic? Well, authentic does two things for you. Authentic gives you the ideal of, like I said, who you are, but it also lets other people know who you are and where you're coming from. And that's important, especially if you're trying to be an entrepreneur. If you're trying to be a speaker or a teacher, an author, a writer, an inventor, a motivator, a mentor, whatever it is you're trying to do. As you step out into the world of entrepreneurship, the first thing that people will want to know about you after what it is you do is if you are really authentic. There are millions of speakers across the world. Some are super famous, some are up and coming, some you've never heard of before. But the difference between all three of those is that authenticity. If I tried to talk to you like Les Brown, or if I tried to give you different quotes that came from Tony Robbins, it may not be authentic because it didn't come from me. The one thing that many people would say about Dr. Martin Luther King is that he was an oratorical genius. The words that just came out of his mouth moved people to make changes, moved them in their soul. It attached either to one or all 5 of the senses that we have in our bodies. There was something about hearing Dr. King speak that just made all the difference in the world. And it made him approachable. And it made people want to get on board with his movement, not because they so much believed in the movement. I dare say that people weren't bending over backwards with excitement when they did the bus boycotts or when they did the sit-ins or when other people spit in their face. But because Martin was able to parlay the gist of the movement, he was able to really state what the purpose of the movement was. He was able to show the passion that he had for making the changes necessary for not only Black America, but all America. People fed into that. People believed in that, and people joined the movement. It was because of his authenticity that we enjoy the fruits of his labor that we enjoy today. So are you being authentic in what it is that you are doing? Are you being authentic as a person? Are you being authentic in your business? Are you being authentic in the way you communicate with people? Really getting them to understand what it is that you do, what it is that you're about, and what it is that you can provide to them as a service, what you can provide to them with your product, what you can provide to them if they brought you in to speak to their group. When you are authentic, you are approachable. When you are authentic, people get to know the real you, not your representative. Have you ever thought about on that first date with that person that you're really infatuated with? Do you let them meet the real you, or do you introduce them to, "Hi, I'm Mr. Representative," first and foremost, and then maybe you'll go through one, two, three dates, and as you figure out what this relationship is going to be, then you give a little bit more of yourself, and then you give a little bit more of yourself until they really know who the real you are. That's authenticity. I want you to be authentic. When you're authentic, there's nothing you can't do, there's nothing you can't achieve, and there is no one who will not want to get on board with what it is you want to do. So that's the first thing. You've got to be authentic. The second thing that that you must have in order to be unstoppable is that you must believe in yourself and believe in your gifts. When Martin Luther King started the civil rights movement, he was in his 20s, just really beginning to learn himself, just really starting his ministry. You know, he was a minister, he was a Southern preacher. He wasn't someone that was already out there trying to do the civil rights thing. But as he saw the cause and as he saw the needs of his people, he began to believe in what needed to change. And he began to believe that he was the person to allow that change to take place. It was that belief in himself that fueled his energy to move forward despite all the obstacles that took place in that journey towards racial equality that we somewhat have right now and the economic equality that we still strive for today. But if not for that belief in himself, where would we be right now, family? I dare say we wouldn't be at the levels that we are right now. I dare say we wouldn't have the first African American president and have that president for 2 terms. I dare say that our communities would be in more chaos than they may be right now. And I submit that they may be in chaos still right now because there aren't more Martins in every community working in their community to pursue the dream. There are a few, and you see some of them on this call right now. In our own way, we are helping others pursue their dreams, and we are being that light that says there is more that you can be than what you see on TV right now. We're providing the alternative, but that's because we believe in ourselves. And we also believe in our gifts. Ed Womack believes that he can transform lives with his books and with his coaching and with his speaking. John McClung believes he can transform lives just by wearing a t-shirt and then starting the conversation. Scott Stewart is molding and shaping the minds of young people as we speak, transforming them into their greater selves that they will become in the future because he believes. Each one of us was created by the Creator with a special, unique gift. Only you've got it, nobody else. Now, you may be able to do some things similar. You may have a skill that is similar to someone else, but nobody can do it like you because you are unique. And it's because of that uniqueness, it's because that God gave that gift only to you, that it would be a shame if you kept it to yourself and didn't share it with the rest of the world. You were created divinely and uniquely by God to bless others with that gift. Believe it, use it, and make that gift a blessing to the rest of the world. And then you too will be unstoppable. So that's the second thing. The first thing, you've got to be authentic. The second thing is you've got to believe in your gifts and believe in yourself. The third thing that you must be able to do in order to be unstoppable is you need to learn how to live life instead of having life dictated by others. I'm going to say that again because it's a powerful message. You need to learn how to live life instead of having your life dictated to you by others. At no other time in America since slavery was it ever more present in America where one party was oppressing the other party as it was seen during the civil rights movement. There were people that were being dictated to where they could eat, where they could sit, when they could come and go, and how they were to live their lives. They were having to live under laws that they had no input in the creation of because they weren't allowed the right to vote. Even in the North, where there was allowances for voting, it still was very segregated during that time. And there still were little chasms of inequality that was going on. In the South, even after the Voting Rights Act was passed, there was still the test that you had to go through to even have that right to vote. So it was very hard then to live your life on your own terms. And that's why Dr. King worked so hard, because he believed in the founding fathers and what they said in the Constitution, that we were all equal and that we should all be able to have liberty and the pursuit of justice. He believed that every man was created equal and every man deserved the right to live and be determined by their own works and their own destiny. That's why he worked so hard, so that we could all live life on our own terms, not have those terms dictated to us by other people. And as we sit here right now, I am able to choose whether or not I want to do this broadcast right now or whether I want to do something else, because I have a freedom that was not in existence back in the 60s. I have a freedom that people of the generation before me could only dream about. I can walk into any restaurant after this broadcast is over, pick up a menu, and order the meal of my choice, knowing that it's going to come to me without any type of backlash from the owners, or without having to worry about if someone's going to come in the restaurant and pull me out of my seat because I sat in the wrong place. It's a wonderful feeling to have, and I can't even imagine what it was like to be in that period of unrest during the civil rights efforts, during the civil rights era. And I thank God that there were people like Dr. Martin Luther King and his circle of influence that were there to pave the way for the benefits that we have today. But even though the physical shackles have been taken off, what about you in your mind right now? In your mind right now, are you living life on your own terms, or are you still allowing life to be dictated to you? Now, I'm not talking about someone telling you that you can only drink at the colored fountain and not the white fountain. I'm not talking about you can't sit at the counter in the restaurant. I'm talking about, are you still allowing procrastination to dictate your life? Yeah, I said it, procrastination. You know that you have a gift. You know that you have a purpose, but you are allowing something to hold you back from living in that purpose, from walking in that purpose. What is it? that's still holding you back and letting life dictate to you. I'm a strong believer that if you don't live life, life is going to keep going anyway, and it's going to walk right over you if you don't take action. Every presenter before me on this broadcast has talked about taking action as a part of their presentation. You cannot expect to be unstoppable. You cannot expect to have the things that you want to have in life if you aren't willing to get off of your seat and get into the game. Life is not a spectator sport. You've got to participate. So, what is your purpose today? What is it that you are supposed to be doing to live your life instead of having life dictated to you? What one small action can you take right now after watching this broadcast that will propel you to the next level of your greatness and allow you to live the life that you deserve on purpose that you were created for? I want you to think about that because you are allowing someone else's dreams to be fulfilled. Every day you focus more energy on them than you focus on yourself. Tomorrow, millions of people will idly get up, take a shower, brush their teeth, jump in the car, on the train, plane, on their way to fulfill somebody else's dream. They will mindlessly push papers from the left to the right of their desks. They will pick up the phone and answer calls. They will punch the time card out for lunch. They'll eat their turkey sandwich and their soft drink and go back to work for the rest of the day doing that same thing. And somebody higher up in the ivory tower of whatever employment agency or job you work for, someone you may have never met and will never meet during your whole lifetime, is benefiting from your hard work and fulfilling their dream. I say to you today is the perfect day for you to start focusing on living your dream. And then build a circle of influence around you that will support your dream, just like you're supporting somebody else's dream. When you live life on your own terms, ladies and gentlemen, you will have a peace of mind that you cannot imagine. When you live life on your own terms, ladies and gentlemen, you will have not only financial success, but you will have freedom, a lifestyle that will be different than what you're experiencing right now. When you decide, as John said in his piece, when you decide to live life on the next level and live life on your own terms, the world will open up a door of possibilities, giving you the things you need to make that a reality, because the world knows that you were created for a purpose, and it's just waiting for you to show up. So that's the third thing that you need to do, that you must do in 2015 in order to be unstoppable. So let's go back again. We talked about being authentic. We talked about believing in yourself and your gifts. And we talked about living life on your own terms as opposed to having life dictated to you. I'm going to paraphrase something that Dr. King said. If you can't find anything in life worth dying for, then you're not fit to live. When you were born, God already gave you that purpose. Seek Him. Seek what He has to say to you. Seek what purpose He has for you and start living that purpose. And then finally, expect success in everything you do. Now, hear me clearly. I said expect success in everything you do. I didn't say you will be successful in everything you do. It's a mindset thing. If we expect success in everything we do, then we will seek it out. We will be more inclined to work at it. We will put in the struggle that needs to go into it to make it successful. Winston Churchill said that success is nothing but failure after failure without a loss of enthusiasm. Failure is actually needed in your life to have a better respect for success when you receive it. But it's that expectation of success that allows you to keep going forward. This broadcast is a perfect example. This broadcast, before it happened at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time this morning, I was full of expectation of a successful broadcast. I was going to have everybody who said they were going to be a part of the broadcast be a part of the broadcast. We were going to go off on time because I am a stickler for time. Ask my wife, she'll tell you. And we were going to have pieces thrown in from Dr. King so that you could see him, hear, and speak. And then 11:45 Central Standard Time came and my system crashed. 12 o'clock came and system still wasn't back up. One of the brothers on the show told me we are 17 minutes past our time and we still hadn't done the broadcast. But I still had an expectation of success. I still knew that this broadcast was valuable. I still knew that this broadcast was going to bless someone. I still knew that this broadcast needed to happen. So with my expectation of success, I found a way to get us back up with the encouragement of the rest of the men of vision on the broadcast. We went through, and here we are. You have been blessed by 3 powerful speakers, and now you get to listen to me. Well, it's that expectation of success that I want you to have in your life each and every day as well. Knowing that if you expect success, you're going to work towards success. And if you fail, you learn from that failure and you come back the next day. A dream deferred is not a dream denied. Just because you expect success and just because you work hard at success every day does not mean today is the day that your dream will be realized. It does not mean that tomorrow will not be that day. But rest assured, if you stop, if you don't live your life, if you don't believe in yourself, if you aren't authentic and real to yourself and to others about what it is that you want to do, it's a guarantee that that dream will never be a reality. And like Brother Ed said at the beginning of his speech, that Dr. Martin Monroe said, they'll end up in the cemetery with a whole bunch of other unrealized dreams. That is not my vision for you. That is not the vision of the Next Level Living Show for you. Our vision is to help you go from where you are to the next level of your greatness. Because why would you ever settle for less when you can be unstoppable? And in order to be unstoppable, you need those 4 things. You need to be authentic. You need to believe in yourself. You need to live life on your own terms instead of having it dictated to you. And then you ultimately, absolutely have to expect success every day. I'm Terrance, the Unstoppable Coach Leftridge, and that is my gift to you today. That's what I want you to do in pursuing the dream in 2015. I want you to be able to be unstoppable. Thank you so very much. Why don't you go ahead and go in the chat room and let us know not only what you thought about this presentation, but what you thought about all of the presenters that we had on Pursuing the Dream in 2015 today.